Deep in the north woods of Minnesota, where tall pines have stood since long before the first sawmills came, a ribbon of fine golden sand runs down to the edge of a clear blue lake. People have called this one of the finest swimming beaches in the whole state, a quiet stretch of shore in a land of glacial water and whispering pine. Welcome to McCarthy Beach State Park. We are in the Laurentian country of northern Minnesota, near the little community of Side Lake, not far from the famous Iron Range. This is a land shaped by ice and forest, a country of clear lakes strung together like beads, ringed by pine and birch, on the high ground where the continent itself begins to tilt north. The heart of the park is its beach. Along the shore of Sturgeon Lake stretches a long band of clean, fine sand, gently sloping into cool, clear water. It has long been counted among the very best swimming beaches in Minnesota, a rare thing this far into the northern forest. On a warm August day, the water shines pale blue and green, and the sand runs soft and golden beneath the pines. The beach is only one link in a chain. McCarthy Beach lies among a string of clear glacial lakes, with Sturgeon Lake and Side Lake among the largest, their waters linked and threaded through the woods. These are cold, clean northern lakes, fed by springs and rain, their shorelines quiet but for the lapping of small waves and the call of a distant loon. All of this is the work of ice. Not so long ago, in the reckoning of the earth, great glaciers ground across this country, gouging out basins that filled with meltwater to become the lakes. As the ice withdrew, it left behind the sand and gravel that the water later shaped into these smooth beaches. The clear lakes and the fine sand of McCarthy Beach are, quite literally, gifts of a vanished age of ice. And then there are the pines. The park shelters stands of tall red pine, also called Norway pine and white pine, some of them soaring high overhead. In a region where nearly every great tree was felled a century ago, these old pines are survivors, escapees of the logging era, tall straight columns of rust red and gray that give the north woods its deep, resinous scent and its sense of ancient calm. For these forests were once a battleground of the axe. In the late 1800s and early 1900s, vast pineries across northern Minnesota were cut and floated down the rivers to feed a hungry, growing nation. Whole hillsides of centuries-old pine fell in a single generation. That so many great trees still stand here, at McCarthy Beach, is the reason this ground was worth protecting at all. Just to the north runs an invisible line of great consequence. It is the Laurentian Divide, the high backbone of the continent where the waters part. A raindrop falling on one side flows south by long journeys toward the Gulf of Mexico. A raindrop on the other side runs north instead, all the way to cold Hudson Bay. To stand near this ridge is to stand on the very roof of the land. Long before the parks and the mines, this was, and remains, the homeland of the Ojibwe, the Anishinaabe people. For generations they lived with these lakes and forests, gathering wild rice from the shallows, tapping the maples in spring, and moving with the seasons across this water-laced country. Their deep knowledge of this land runs far older than any name upon a modern map. Into this world came the fur trade. For well over a century, canoes of French and later British traders and their voyageurs threaded the northern waterways, carrying packs of beaver pelts bound for the hat makers of Europe. The lakes and rivers of this region became highways of commerce, and the meeting of Ojibwe and trader shaped the whole early history of the North Country. And beneath the soil to the south lay another kind of treasure. This is the edge of the Mesabi Iron Range, one of the greatest deposits of iron ore the world has ever known. From the 1890s onward, the red iron of the Mesabi was dug from enormous open pits and shipped east to become the steel of a rising America. The quiet pines of McCarthy Beach stand just a short way from that thundering industrial story. But here, the loudest sound is the loon. On these clear lakes, the common loon, Minnesota's beloved state bird, drifts and dives, and its wild, wavering cry carries across the water at dusk like the very voice of the north. Where the mines roar in the distance, here the lakes answer only with birdsong and the wind in the pines. And the loon is far from alone. Bald eagles wheel above the lakes and nest in the tallest pines. White-tailed deer step quietly to the water's edge at dawn, and somewhere back in the timber, a black bear turns over a log in search of a meal. This is rich northern forest, alive with creatures that have called these woods home for far longer than we have. In autumn, the whole country changes its coat. The birches and aspens turn to shimmering gold, the maples flame red and orange, and all of it glows against the steady dark green of the pines. The summer crowds are gone, and the trails fall wonderfully quiet. It is many a Northwoods traveler's favorite season here, a time of crisp air, colored leaves, and long, still reflections on the lakes. And that in the end is what this place offers. A soft sand beach and clear cold water, tall old pines that outlived the loggers, a divide that parts the very waters of a continent and the deep quiet of the northern forest. McCarthy Beach is a small park, but it holds the whole spirit of the North Woods, its history, its wildness, and its peace. A golden beach on a glacial lake, ancient pines, and the calling of the loons under the great northern sky. Thank you for watching. Follow for more interesting people, places, and things we cover on the channel.